And we're back yet again. Now, I'm at the level where I should be going in for, Honest Hearts, but Season 1 will run a little short if I do that, so instead, I've decided I'm gonna... Because you gotta close off the scenery with a big one, right? Like, that's a must. To that end, we're gonna go and introduce ourselves to the Great Khans. Now, this run, I don't know how long it's going to be. If I find it's taking too long, I will just cut ahead to me already being at Red Rock Canyon. That is powder gangers. I think right now they might be getting glommed by geckos, because usually when I encounter them, that's what's happening. Oh yeah, they're dead. Sniper gods, blessed be my aim. I held low. Those are golden geckos. Let's give them the VATS treatment. Here, allow me to modulate your matter. Oh. didn't want to grab all. God damn it. Ditch that. What else did he have on him? Sort that out later. Red Rock Canyon. Okay, so White Mountains in the distance means whatever it is, the Super Mutant Refuge. And I mean, Red Rock is literally in a bunch of red rocks, so not super difficult to discern. Those are Death Claws. Let's not go that way. That house leads me to where I need to go. But it's also got a bunch of powder gangers. And if I swing to the left, it's Deathclaw country. Beneficially, if I'm willing to get closer to the Fiends, I can get to Red Rock Canyon. And since this won't be like my last hardcore run where I didn't use fast travel, once I've reached Red Rock Canyon, I don't need to worry about whether or not I can get back and forth to it. I'd always bait the Death Claws towards the Powder Gangers. They would make quick work of them, I imagine. Now, you know, it occurred to me that if I wore the Vault 13 armored jumpsuit, like, that would be appropriate for going into Zion, considering that I have a Pip-Boy, like the other guy who has a broken Pip-Boy that doesn't work. And it's certainly light and offers high defense for its weight. But the thing is, part of the reason I'm wearing this is not just because its ecclesiastical look is in fitting with the religious tones of Honest Hearts, but also because this outfit is entirely disposable. I have like 3 of them in perfect condition, and they're light, so I can't really use them to fix anything substantial. So if I need to just drop this, I am more than capable of doing that on a whim. I see red rocks. Oh, now what? Oh. Brain pan. Oh, hello. Okay, so last time we pumped science up to 85. We also got to start thinking offense, because we're hitting for just the tiniest little squirt of damage. But I also need survival, because I got a lot of stuff that I could cook if only my survival skill wasn't garbage. So we'll put survival up to 30, and we'll put the rest into medicine for now. You all came out of that canyon. Or that cave. I'm not equipped to go spelunking. We'll be back later. Besides, I don't like all that red on the other side of that mountain. I'm wearing something with basically no damage threshold. Yeah, this looks like the right way. Oh, hi there. Oh, until I get the AER-14, or was it the AER-17, this thing is going to be my go-to weapon. And then after that, when I get the LAER and fully modify it, that's going to be the weapon I carry all the time. So, there's usually Vipers or Raiders or whatever in that village, which is why we're going to avoid that village. This looks like the right way. Go and introduce ourselves to the Khans. Just 4 missiles on a crashed motorcycle out here. Okay, sure. That's not strange or anything. And it's late enough in the day that I should be able to talk to Papa Khan directly, because he doesn't wake up until like 2 o'clock at night. These guys come very close to being raiders. And they're drug dealers, which I also disapprove of. But ultimately, based on my plans for them, that won't be a problem in my New Vegas.
Hello.
Hello, Papa Khan.
So the cub enters the wolf's den. What do you want, cub?
Well, who are you?
You march all the way out to Red Rock Canyon, enter my home as bold as you please, and you have no idea who I am? You've got guts, I'll give you that. Well then, let me educate you. I am the chief of the great Khans. The Khan of Khans, if you like. This is my tribe, and these are my people.
If his mouth looks weird, it's because he was eating when he started talking. Can you tell me about your people?
You want to hear the story of the great Khans? It's a long one, full of honor, glory, and betrayal. We have suffered, but we will regain our glory.
Why do your horns look cell-shaded? Anyway, maybe you could give me the abbreviated version.
In a hurry, are you? Very well, then. The Great Khans came east, out of the NCR 14 years ago. We ruled the wastes then, and called no man master. But we underestimated the families of the Strip, and they drove us back to Bitter Springs, where we remained until the NCR arrived and drove us here.
But how did the three families defeat you?
They allied with Mr. House, the self-proclaimed master of New Vegas. He supported them with the resources of New Vegas. Weapons, technology, caps. They were better equipped, and we could not stand against them.
And what happened at Bitter Springs?
When the NCR came to the Mojave, we thought they would be easy pickings. We raided their caravans, their towns, their camps. They couldn't stop us. At least that's what we thought. They tracked us to Bitter Springs and surrounded us. When our children, our sick and old, fled through a nearby pass, the NCR gunned them down.
Well, that sounds horrible.
It's because of that we have sworn to take revenge on the NCR. With our new allies in Caesar's Legion, we will crush them.
Do you mind if we talk about something else?
Typical. No reference for history in the younger generations.
We've already covered all of your history. I've come to ask the Great Khans to break their alliance with the Legion.
Have you now? Well, you're a bold one, I'll give you that. But why should I do this for you?
Let's see our options. Caesar is only using you. He doesn't actually care about the Khans.
Doesn't he? Caesar's representative tells a different tale. The glory of the Great Khans will be restored, and once the NCR is pushed back to California, all the land from here to the Colorado will be ours. I won't hear any more talk against Caesar or his alliance. The Great Khans will answer Caesar's call to war, and the NCR will pay for their crimes.
As you wish, Papa.
Farewell.
True to Kaiser.
Uh,
Greetings in the name of Kaiser.
and who are you?
My name is Carl. Glorious Caesar has sent me as an emissary to the Great Khans as a token of our alliance.
What's your role in the Legion?
I am one of the Frumentari. It is my duty to scout the waste in Caesar's name and make contact with any tribes that might serve a useful purpose. You might say I'm somewhere between a scout and an ambassador. I'm assigned here as part of the alliance between the Legion and the Great Khans.
What alliance?
In exchange for Great Caesar's promise of all the lands west of New Vegas, the Khans have agreed to fight alongside the Legion when the time comes.
Huh. In exchange for lands. Yeah, clearly the Khans don't spec much into intelligence. What does the Legion want with the Great Khans?
Though they have been cruelly oppressed by the NCR, the Khans remain great warriors. The Legion is honored to have such allies in battle.
I had other questions.
Speak then.
And what do you think of the Great Khans?
They're a tribe of fine warriors with many proud traditions and a glorious history. They will be worthy additions to the Legion.
Funny the way he voiced that. Additions to the Legion.
Yes, goodbye.
I haven't seen you before. What brings you to the Great Khans?
Tell me about Papa.
Papa is one of the best leaders the Khans have ever had. He's kept us together through all of our hardships, ever since we left California. Bitter Springs changed him, though. He started to really hate the NCR after the massacre. And sometimes, I worry that's poisoned his mind.
What do you mean about Papa's hatred poisoning his mind?
Nothing. Forget about it. I shouldn't be talking about this with an outsider.
That's true, you shouldn't. Who are you, by the way?
Name's Regis. I'm Papa Khan's advisor and right-hand man. I'm also the chief enforcer of the tribe's laws, so watch your behavior.
And what would your opinion of the NCR be?
That's a complicated question. They've done horrible things to our people, to be sure. and I've gladly killed many of their soldiers in battle. But I can't bring myself to hate them the way Papa does. Things would damn sure be better for us if they were in charge than Caesar.
Well, you actually have perspective. Somebody's got an intelligence of at least 6. So if you were in charge of the tribe, you'd fight with the NCR against Caesar if asked.
I suppose if asked, I would. But that's a moot point, because Papa's in charge now, and he's not going anywhere.
We can only hope. Farewell.
Until next time.
Which is
I
immediately.
heard you try to convince Papa Khan not to join with Caesar's Legion. I'd like to talk to you about that for a moment.
What is it you had in mind?
You want to convince Papa not to ally with Caesar, right? Trust me, you'll get nowhere just talking to him about it. He's fixated on restoring the glory of the great Khans, and he sees Caesar as the path to that restoration.
So what would you like me to do?
Papa can be a stubborn man, but he's not a tyrant. He listens to his tribe, and to 4 voices in particular. Me, Jack, Diane, and Melissa. If you can convince all of us that allying with Caesar is a bad idea, you might be able to sway him.
Okay, so you're the great Khans. Your leader, Papa, is the Khan of Khans, but he's not a tyrant. Do you even know the ancient Khans? Besides, where are your horses? Where are your bows? And what does any of your appropriated history have to do with running chems? Anyway, aren't you convinced already if we're having this conversation?
I have my doubts about Caesar, yes, but I won't publicly go against Papa Khan based on nothing more than doubts. I've heard rumors that tribes who aligned with Caesar in the past were torn apart and reduced to slaves. Prove it, and I'll back you.
Oh, I changed my mind. He's probably got an intelligence more of 7 or 8. What would convince Jack and Diane to support me?
You'd have to talk to them, but those 2 have been thick as thieves since they were kids. Convince one, and the other will come around.
What about Melissa?
Ah, Melissa. She's a bit of a dreamer. Last time she was in camp, Carl filled her head with stories of serving the Legion as a speculatore. Personally, I've never seen a woman in Legionnaire's armor, so I have my doubts.
He's an 8 intelligence. Oh, honestly, it might be better if he was in charge. Okay, I'll see what I can do to convince everyone.
Good. Oh, one more thing. Caesar's representative, Carl, has become fast friends with Papa. Carl's the one who has him so fixated on this alliance. You'll probably have an easier time of things if you can find a way to get him out of the picture.
And how would you like me to do that?
Carl talks prettily about the honor and nobility of the great Khans, but I suspect his actual opinion is less flattering. Maybe you could find something he wrote that expresses that opinion, or trick him into losing his cool in the longhouse right in front of Papa.
Actually, most of the Wasteland has a certain opinion of the Khans. Speaking of which, Carl, wash your face! I'll keep that in mind.
I would too, if I were you.
Or not Carl, Regis! Yes, no, Regis, he's got, like, dirt in his face. He looks like he's just been mud wrestling. Which he might have been for all I know. I mean, Yes Man wasn't necessarily wrong when he described the Khans as a dirty people who live in tents. The rude might be a bit of a stretch. Oh, hey, are you guy who dug my grave?
2, 3.
No.
Damn it, too many syllables. I wonder if anything rhymes with Cazador. Silver... Silver what? What do you want?
What are you doing?
Nothing really. Just trying to psych myself up to try my initiation. Again.
What is this initiation?
Everybody has to do it. Well, everybody who wants to be a Khan anyways. They toss you into the ring there and beat on you for a solid minute. If you survive, you're in.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
Sure, maybe not if you're some hulking reprobate like Regis or big to the gills like Jack. I've tried 5 times and still haven't made it.
Hulking retrobate, Regis has an intelligence of 8. Or at least his writing makes it sound like he does. It sounds like you're not happy being a great Khan. Maybe you'd be happier someplace else.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I can find my true calling, someplace they'll appreciate my poetry. Someplace like the old Mormon fort, maybe. Do you think the followers of the apocalypse would take me? I remember all those books they brought us when they visited our tribe.
I could ask them for you.
You'd do that? Thanks! I mean, I'd go myself, but what if they said no? The Khans wouldn't take me back, and then I'd have nobody.
Is there anything you can tell me about the Great Khans?
I can tell you they're a bunch of big dumb jerks with no appreciation for art. I mean, can you believe their initiation?
Well, I can tell they have no appreciation for art. Case in point, Papa Khan's Iron Throne back there is a couple of human skulls on a pair of hockey sticks. What do you think about the Khan's alliance with Caesar?
Huh? Wait, what are you talking about? We're allied with Caesar now? Typical. Nobody tells me anything.
Well, to be fair, you're not technically a Khan yet.
Whatever. Indulgent. What rhymes with indulgent? Default.
Repugnant?
That's terrible. How do you spell...
Elegant? Recalcitrant. Well, let's talk to these two first, because these two are the ones that are holding me up from being able to make the necessary progress in the Fiend situation. Hello, Diane.
You're not one of my regulars. What do you want?
Is there an introduction? Tell me a little about the Great Khans.
I'll spare you the history lesson. Talk to Papa Khan if you want to hear that story. Things have been rough for a while now. Even with Jack working all the time and my runners making deliveries daily, we're barely getting by. Maybe this alliance with Caesar will help, but I don't know.
Why are things so tough?
Red Rock Canyon isn't exactly the most hospitable place. There's no food, barely any water, and nothing anybody wants. We used to send patrols out to acquire supplies, but ever since Bitter Springs, there just aren't enough of us left.
Let's talk about something else.
Sure. What do you want to know?
What is it that you do here?
We keep the Great Khans from falling apart, essentially. Jack manufactures the chems. I organize the runners and the shipments.
So you're drug dealers.
We're supplying things people want in exchange for things our tribe needs. Don't judge us.
Who do you sell to?
We make regular shipments to a lot of settlements around the Mojave. A lot of our business comes from the Fiends lately. Personally, I think they're kind of creepy. But Papa likes the fact they get all hopped up on Psycho and harass the NCR patrols.
Charming.
Like what?
What do you think about Kaisar?
Well, it's not like I'm super attached to working with Caesar or anything. But if it'll stop his patrols from harassing my runners, I'm all for it. Papa hasn't steered us wrong yet.
Oh, yeah, you don't know that Caesar doesn't allow chems in the Legion. Oh, boy. I've been told you're someone I should talk up to about stopping the Khan's alliance with Caesar.
Hey, it's not like I'm super attached to working with Caesar or anything.
You said that
But if
already.
it'll
Caesar isn't going to let you run drugs as an ally any more than he supports it now. He hates chems.
I haven't heard anything like that. Do you have any proof?
Not yet, but I'll find some.
Okay. Come on back when you do.
You've got an impressive... I don't think I'll pass the check for that. I'm looking to make a few caps. I don't suppose you've got any work for me.
You look like you could handle yourself in a fix. All right, I'll tell you what. Anders, one of my best runners, is overdue to report back. If you can find out what happened to him, I'll give you some real work.
And this isn't real work? Sure, just tell me who I'm looking for and where to start.
About 3 weeks ago, I sent Anders southeast to find a route into Arizona, to open new markets for our product. He should have been back 2 days ago, but there's been no sign of him.
Okay, I'll be back as soon as I have any news.
Thanks. Prove you're reliable on this, and I'll have more for you later.
Uh-huh. Well, it makes sense that she would want proof that that Caesar hates chems. Now, for this mission, our closest fast travel point is... Yeah, that would be about the best spot.